Hello, ladies, gentlemen, miscellaneous others, whoever happens to be coming along. Welcome to a new episode. It's been about a week, a little over, I think, since I last recorded. So, I have just been familiarising myself. That's the wrong direction. In the last episode, we built this, which I've still forgotten to power, which will eventually make what they called sturdy sheets. We had some mechanical crafting, crushing, automatic train tracks, and whatever this is, precision mechanisms. Wonderful. Okay. Excuse me. Now that I have familiarised myself with my previous antics, let's talk about today's project. And while I talk about today's project, I'm going to stick some more rails onto, well, rails, because we're going to need them. Not today, for another day. What do rails need? Little short on iron, unless I've got any on me. Oh yes, I don't know if I talked about this, but I did go on a massive mining trip. Hence having an obscene amount of cobbled deep slate, because I will show you very shortly. Because I don't know if you can. Is it over there? Yeah, it is. I made my drill a fair wedge bigger, basically doubled it in size, but I forgot to add more storage. Because, you know, I'm clever like that. So we ended up spitting out a bunch of stuff and it was lagging out my world, so I just ended up picking it all up. So thankfully our next episode is going to be on storage systems. But yeah, still need to fill in all these bloody creeper holes. Right. Yes, so I've been mining between episodes. Got quite a lot of stuff. That was the wrong button. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. There we go. Do I have? That was the wrong button. I did want to be going over that way. Okay. Because before we get started today, there was a little something that I wanted to talk to y'all about. So obviously in Create we can use what are they called, lava in front of a fan to where's all my ores gone? Maybe I already smelted them. I must have already smelted them, which does nothing to explain the very short quantities of iron that I have. I must have misplaced half my iron, hasn't it? I don't know. Well, given that I don't have any raw ores, I now can't show you the thing that I wanted to show you, so this is quite poorly planned on my part, isn't it? Yeah. God knows where any of that's ended up then. How baffling. Anyway, let's talk about what we're going to do today. Enough of me getting distracted by things, eh? Today, we are going to be making an elevator. Or, you know, if you're British like me, and lift. And the reason we're going to be making and lift is because I think it will go quite nicely in this little 3x3 gap here. I do actually need that. Yeah, so we're going to put it in our little 3x3 gap here, and then we're going to use it to go all the way down to bedrock and make a more permanent mining tunnel rather than me just throwing myself into that, it's that way, isn't it? That sort of big chasm cave thing and getting down as low as I can. Now, I don't know if I actually talked through how to make tracks in the last episode, but basically, you need stone slabs, iron nuggets, and a press. You can do it manually, but as I found out, it's a pain in the backside. And each slab will require 2 nuggets to get you a single train track, which personally I think is quite harsh, which is why I do like what's it called, Steam and Rails, which is a Create mod add-on that adds all sorts of track related things. But I did promise that I wouldn't be installing anything texture onto this for a little while. I do think you can use andesite, diorite, and what's the other one? Granite. Let me just test that though, because that would probably be a better way of doing it. No, no, you can't. It has to be stone. Okay, I do apologise. Right, let's just sort the inventory. Oh yeah, I also got myself some fresh backpack upgrades, so I upgraded my stack upgrade twice, so it's now diamond tier, which gives me 512, excuse me, per slot. I got a tool swapper upgrade, that's what it says on the tin, and a feeding upgrade, that's what it says on the tin. Both of which are very useful. Because now I don't have to eat, and whenever I go to mine something, it just automatically swaps out. Anyway, the first thing we're going to need for this elevator is technically an elevator pulley. One of these fellas. But actually, what we want first is a rope pulley, for reasons that will become clear momentarily. So we need some wool, an andesite casing, and an iron sheet. How much of that do I have, do we reckon? Well, it was to be expected. Do I have any loge? No, no I do not. And the iron sheet will be fairly easy. Just grab that iron. I really don't know what I've done with all of my everything, basically. Because I'm sure I had... in fact, I must have had more stuff. That's not where my bed is in the slightest. Ow. How did I... Okay. Need some wood. Did I plant... I did plant trees. Not very many trees, but trees. Now, what was I going to say? Oh yes, I was going to complain about one of the backpack upgrades. So, tool swapper upgrade. When you upgrade it to the upgraded tool swapper upgrade, it says it works with modded things like wrenches, so I should be able to shift and left click to wrench, but with any tool, and it will automatically swap it out. But it doesn't seem to do that for create, and that makes me very unhappy. Yes, that was my little complaint. Do I have andesite alloy? I do. Now, oh yeah, something else. Wrong button. Is so these are sorted by mod, which is what I normally go for, which means create ends up at the top because C comes before M. Apart from this bread, because I have locked that slot as bread. Once we get a farm for golden carrots, it will become golden carrots, or if we do end up installing... Why am I going? If I do end up installing Farmer's Delight, then... oh god. There we go. Whatever Farmer's Delight food we end up making will go there. Yes. I can't remember why I was telling you that. I'm sure there must have been a reason. Okay, so what we're going to do is stick our rope pulley there. And we're going to need to get some power to it, which I think I'll just do through this wall. Yeah, if I get some... Have I got any encased chain drives? Nope. Probably make some though, can't I? Yeah. Encased chain drives. The bane and love of my existence. There we go. 2 of those suckers. I've got some shafts on me, nowhere near enough though. Keep that on me. Now, yes, something else that I wanted to talk about. I think I mentioned a few episodes ago that you can encase shafts and belts and all sorts like so just by left clicking on them with any variety of casing. Apart from copper, unless you get the create encased add-on. Now that's great, but that does actually hold a very slight use in that encased things are ever so slightly less laggy. Now it is infinitesimal. Yeah, that's the word. So, you know, if it's not going to save your massive 3,000 block create mod factory that is completely designed just to make iron, but it might help, you know? I've fallen in a hole. That's going to be a theme of this episode. I've been playing through all the Halo games on legendary difficulty, and I swear most of my deaths are coming from me falling in holes. Mainly lift shafts. I'm quite good at falling in lift shafts. Right, that can go there. Oh, no, hang on. I'll have that back for a minute. Thank you. Yes. So, next what we need is some drills, and I'm going to run all the way... Ooh, health and safety have arrived. Well, watch this, health and safety. Whee! And jump off my roof in your general direction. I'm going to steal some drills from over here, which means most of this episode is going to be consisting of me running backwards and forwards to my drill, apparently. We will put these back, but I just need to steal 3 more drills. Where? That is really confusing me. I'm sure I must have one heck of a lot more iron. Hello? Oh yeah, while I remember, does anybody know of a quick way to get rid of all these death markers? Because I have Zero's map and minimap, and they give you these lovely death markers, which are very useful if you haven't got keep inventory turned on, as I do, because I'm bad at the game. So if anybody knows how to get rid of them, that'd be lovely. Anyway, we need a 3x3 of drills, and we need to glue them all together. We're also going to need some inventory, so let's just stick some barrels on. There we go. One there. Oops. One there, and one there. Then do that. And then we can just... actually, I'm going to want a clutch, aren't I? Otherwise this is going to be annoying. How does one construct and clutch? I should have all of those things. I do. One advantage to doing massive mining trip is I have now got plenty of redstone. So, I don't think we've actually used a clutch yet in this series, have we? So, clutches are really very... Oh no, I don't want a clutch, do I? I want a gear shift. So clutches are great. They basically just turn stuff off if you power them. So you put a redstone current into them and it will fail to use words properly. You put a redstone current into them and it will turn off whatever rotation is on the other side of it. So if you've got power coming in that way, it will turn it off. Which is lovely, but not what we want. Why did I pick up those strip logs? My god. I'm a little rusty apparently. There we go, right. I just keep pressing the wrong button for backpack. Gear shift, oh I need a cog as well. Probably doesn't help that I've got the Halo theme playing at full volume in my head. Which is really, well, as much as I love it, it is really annoying. Problem with having like an internal jukebox. Damn this ADHD. Okay, no, that's not helping anybody. And then that goes there, and we'll need to stick a lever on it, but that's fairly easy. No, it's not, because I smelted all my cobble. Okay. Well, for the minute, we can just stick that there, and you see it pushes everything down, and it's going to mine my bed, but never mind. And hey pesto, we're digging a massive pit. Let's not fall in that, eh? Now, one thing I am going to do is stick a couple blocks there, because then when this comes back up, it will stop on those blocks, which means it will stop a bit lower and just make it easier for us to access the inventories. Now, I need to make an lever, which means I'm going to need a piece of cobblestone. And while I'm here, actually, I believe I smelted some stone. But my stone cut is going to be all the way down there. That's okay. I often get confused between slabs and stairs because I know that stairs are inefficient for crafting, and for some reason my brain often thinks that means slabs too. There we go. Right, that's not going to be anywhere near enough rail, but it'll be enough for now. How are you doing? Getting there. Right, let's run and grab some cobble. See what I mean? There we go. See, that creeper hole did come in handy. Maybe I shouldn't fill in my creeper holes. The rage bait. Yeah. Right, cobblestone, steak, lever. Do you know, didn't I say something about, oh, there's a trial chamber down here? Oh, great. Right, that way. In fairness, thank God for death markers on that one, because otherwise I wouldn't have known how to get home. I literally, though, I just said about falling in that hole. To enjoy a quick time lapse, I guess, of me legging it home again. And we're back, and quite bizarrely, it would seem that our rope pulley has returned to top, which it shouldn't have, because the rotation is going the other way. But it may well just be a visual glitch. Rope pulleys are a little bit buggy when yeah. Sorry, rope pulleys are a little bit buggy when running at full speed. No, it did actually return to the top, though I couldn't tell you why. Anyway, we can stick the lever on there, and then once that eventually reaches bedrock, we'll be able to see, because you can see the rope moving, and eventually that will stop. Once that reaches bedrock, we can just flick that lever and it will come all the way back up. While that's doing the do, let's have a look at how to craft a elevator. There we go. Elevator pulley. Or a lift if you're normal. So brass casing, dried kelp and iron sheets. Dried kelp is going to be a bit of a pain because I do still need to make a farm for it. Ooh, it's going to be a lot of a pain. Okay. Well, we can put that through. Yeah, that's definitely got to be on the list. It's a shame really, because I was hoping to get out of this area in the next few episodes, but if we're going to have to do that, that's going to take an episode, isn't it? Yeah. That's okay though. Gives us a bit more time to craft bloody rails. Nope, that's still going. That trial chamber is very interesting though, because evidently we've gone through it. Yeah. And second to that, evidently we haven't hit any trial spawners, because otherwise this would have stopped. I had to say it, didn't I? Okay, I'll have a look at that in a minute. Or actually, what I can do is show you a cool trick. I say trick, you know, it's reasonably well known, but might as well show you. Given that this is supposed to be a tutorial series after all. Sorry. There we go. We should now have everything for an elevator pulley. No, it's a brass casing and an iron sheet. Okay. So, when these ropes aren't moving, you can actually climb them like ladders. That's the cool trick. There seems to be powdered snow down here, so I could probably just fall. I'm trying to remember whether it was this world or a different one in which I was exploring a trial chamber. Because if it was this world, which frankly I find unlikely, that might be the trial chamber that I explored. But thankfully we do seem to have reached bedrock. Okay, awesome. Now, you know, I'm nothing if not out a little bit greedy, so, ooh, we've got some diamonds. Fantastic. Only needed 2 barrels in the end, but that's okay. Let's steal these diamonds. I'm not going to raid the trial chamber today. I would like to, don't get me wrong, but... oh god. But, that can be a challenge for another episode, or maybe even a stream, which I do. Nobody ever watches them though, so, oh, for crying out loud. So, you know, do drop us a follow over on Twitch. I mean, to be fair, I only really stream because, like, I might as well. I tend to talk to myself when I'm playing games anyway, because I'm weird. And, you know, I'm playing the games and talking to myself anyway, I might as well, stream it. Yes. I've been getting a little bit into Halo modding, recently with the MCC and things. And I think I've got something interesting in the pipeline. I'm debating whether it's going to go on this channel or on Radio C, because it could sort of apply to both. I think it'd be Radio C, which you should go and follow as well, by the way. I have a radio play that I keep forgetting to record the 2nd episode of, and a podcast that the person I'm doing the podcast with is no longer returning my messages. So, you know, that channel's going brilliantly. Yes. I need to pester people about that, because I did enjoy doing that podcast. But yeah, even if not, I do sort of visit that channel fairly regularly, and like I say, I've got plans for a few bits and bobs that will go on that channel rather than this one. I also am in the process of making my first indie game, and I have a feeling that we might be about ready for a first devlog, which is exciting. But anyway, let's focus on the create mod. You can see I powered this and now it's spinning the other way, much like a gearbox. Well, I didn't think that through, did I? Okay, let's try that again, shall we? That was really quite abhorrent on my part. Jesus Christ, evidently the brain is not operating today. Let's break that block then and put the lever there, because that won't get broken. I wouldn't have thought that would have got broken. I was under the impression that putting blocks in the way stopped this, but I mean, I know that works for pistons and the other things, gantries, but evidently not these. Anywho, basically we need to disassemble the thing now. So let's get rid of the glue. Don't know if I talked about this. You can get rid of glue by just attacking with the glue, and it will get rid of the patch of glue that you're looking at. Get rid of all of those, and that, and that, and that. They can stay there for the minute because I need to empty them. And I was halfway through making an elevator pulley before I got distracted by falling in holes and dying. Lots of dying. That seems to be a pattern with everything that I do. Other than life, obviously, because that would be counterintuitive to say the least. Yes. Don't do death, kids. Another complaint with the tool swapper upgrade. I've just got an iron shit. Oh, I didn't get it out of the chest. Another complaint with the tool swapper upgrades is when you try and strip a log, it doesn't automatically switch to the axe, so you have to try and mine the log and then try and strip it. But you know, that's a small complaint as complaints go. Anyway, elevator pulley. Now, when we place an elevator pulley on power, you will see that it doesn't immediately drop down like the rope pulley did. Yep. Which is good for a start, because that means we don't have to faff about. Let's get all these emptied real quick. Oh, Christ on a bike. I haven't thought this through. I don't have any storage anywhere. That's the next episode we're doing storage, not this one. Okay, let's make some chests. Sorry, this is embarrassing to say the least, but let's just plonk a chest there for some temporary storage. Yeah, all of that can go. There we go. Tough bricks is quite nice as well, because I do like building with tough. This ladder will go, by the way, but that's why we're building a lift. I'm going to keep calling it a lift, because, you know, like I say, I'm British, and therefore normal. Now, one thing that I've never actually considered is we could probably have stuck all the drills, oops, I need those, on the bottom of our lift, but then it would be a pain in the backside to get them on and off. Well, off mainly, because we don't need them on there all the time. Bed can go there, stone gas can go there. And I think that might be the final resting place of our bed, to be honest. It's quite nice, just tuck it in the corner, though I might move it upstairs so we don't get... You can't sleep now, there's monsters nearby, yeah, and there's a bloody wall in the way. Anyway, enough of me whining. We now need to build our lift, and now I, as you may be able to tell from this appalling building, I'm not very good at building in the slightest. But I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to do something I don't think we've talked about before, and use some copycat panels. And I think brass. I think I want to use brass, because it's not often I have enough brass to consider using a lot of it. No, I don't like the look of that. I don't like the arches. Copper, I don't really want to use either. What about andesite alloy? Do I actually have any of that? Didn't I make some? I did. I made quite a lot. That was clever of me. Unusual. Anyway, andesite bars. 20, that'll probably do. Now, we used copycat steps when building this. That's what these things are. But all copycats do is they copy the block that's in your offhand. You can, hang on, let me just demonstrate. If I place that there, you can then apply a thing to it like so. That's not actually where I want that. Or if you put the block in your offhand, you can just place. They're like shafts where you have placement aids like so. We'll want a door on this, won't we? But yeah, they're cool. I like them. Now this lift is a bit of an awkward size, I'm going to be honest. But we'll make it work, you know. We're nothing if not awkward ourselves. I was really expecting to not make that drop. What do we need? 18. Yeah, I'm trying to be a bit conservative with my iron. I really don't know where I've put all my iron. Very miffed by that. Anyway, we'll have a floor, oops, of industrial iron. Oops, it's Mark 2. And also a ceiling of industrial iron. Ooh, I can get rid of all these barrels now. Yeah. Actually, I would like those barrels, because I'm going to need them. Yes. Now, I can't actually put another copycat panel there. I can put one there, which isn't in the right orientation. I think I can rotate them. Nope. Nope, stop. Can I rotate it, please? Please? Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay. But I can't put one there, which means we are going to have a bit of a gap. I could put girders in, actually. Have I got any girders? No, that's not girders. Those, nope, nope, that's something else. God knows what that is, actually. Probably my blaze spawner. Let's use girders. I think girders could be good. Yeah, I don't hate that. In fact, let's have this whole thing just be open air. We're going to be like in rock most of the time, so there's not too much worry of plummeting to our death. Anyway, yeah, so that's fairly simple. We can now glue the thing together. Comes there. It's all wonderfully glued. Don't know why I glued the bottom bit before gluing all the others. Something I learnt from ye old Foxy No-Tail is it's actually more lag efficient to glue everything in one block rather than glue those and then glue that tower and that tower, which is not something I knew before watching that video from, like I say, Foxy No-Tail. Who I do recommend, though frankly if you're watching my series you're probably already watching his. Next thing we're going to need is I pressed the wrong button. Contraption controls. Yeah, contraption and controls start the same. Never noticed that before. Oh, not electron tubes, for crying out loud. Button's easy, thankfully. Electron tubes, no. Rose quartz polish, rose quartz, right. Do have some sandpaper somewhere. There we go, sandpaper. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to show you a little trick for this, which I don't think I've gone over before. You can put sandpaper in the deployer. Sorry. And it will sand whatever's underneath it. Very simple, very useful. Oops, hey, oop. There we go. Then get rid of all that. Then we need a button. Make the electron tube, it normally helps. And contraption controls. Now, contraption controls can be used on any variety of contraption, and I will go over what they can be used for. But when placed on a lift, once this is activated, which I haven't done yet, they will become lift controls, which allow you to designate what floor you want to end up at. In order to tell the lift what our different floors are, we need what they called redstone contacts. These things. For crying out loud, again with the cobblestone. To the creeper hole! And now that we've got some raw ores, I can show you the little trick that I meant to show you at the start of the video. Contraption controls. Let's go for... yeah, 4. We're gonna you need at least 2 to start with. Yeah. So, hang on. Oh yeah, that little trick. We need to go upstairs for that. So once you have a pair of crushing wheels, what you can do is a little trick to make your oreness a little bit more efficient. And if you crush your ores, you see, A, you get nuggets of experience, which is great. Okay, you know what? But you also get crushed raw, whatever it is. Now, there is an add-on mod that means you get twice as much for doing this. And if you smelt this, it will give you ingots, but what I like to do is wash it, because when you wash it, you get extra stuff. Now, the extra stuff varies by what thing it is. Zinc gives you a little bit of gunpowder, iron gives you a little bit of redstone, which is probably more useful than gunpowder, at least for me. Because I'm bad at the game and probably won't be getting an elytra anytime soon. I don't think that's facing the right way, is it? No idea, to be honest. So, anyway, for this we need contraption control, what are these things called? Redstone contact on the outside, not attached to your lift. You can put it wherever you like, but then touching it, facing the other way, and you'll know that they're facing the right way because the red lines will be close to each other and they will light up. You need another redstone contact, and it doesn't matter where you put the contraption controls, but I don't like the way redstone contacts look, so I'm putting the contraption controls on top. But now, this is a lift. That's literally everything you need for a lift, so I'm going to pillar up using some girders. And then to activate your lift pulley, all you have to do is give that a whack. You can see that this is now glowing, and if you want to undo that, you can obviously press again. Which I might do actually. Yeah, I'm going to stick a lantern in here. Excuse me, I do apologise. Where did all those iron sheets come from? Ah yes, I recall. So we're going to need some of those. I must have some torches somewhere, I do. This is completely non-compulsory. This is just me mainly doing a little bit of experimentation, to be honest. Because I know that it used to be the case that lights on contraptions wouldn't stay lit, but it seems like now they do. Interesting. Obviously that's going to be useful because we're going to be going into the pits of the earth. You can see for a start that the elevator contact has gone all pink and rose quartz coloured, and also this has a number on it. Now currently that number's not going to change when we do anything to it, because we don't have a second floor for which to aim. Just for reference, I like to put my redstone contacts at the floor level of my lift. Yeah. Just because it makes it really easy, so then you can see where your floor is. So let's call this ground. So, oh yeah, I should clarify. When you open the inventory, I say inventory, you know, the menu of this, you can change what number it shows up as, and also give it a little sort of tag at the bottom. And you can also tell the lift what doors to open. We don't have any doors on our lift, but if we did, we could. And then we can do the same over here. That's going to be floor 1, and this is going to be upstairs, like so. And then, you can see, we are at floor 1 upstairs. If I scroll on that, it will turn orange to tell me that I'm not at that floor. And then if I click on it, it will take me to that floor. Now there used to be a bit of a problem if you had these running at full speed, where you would sort of lift off the lift and take a load of fall damage when you hit the ground. That is no longer a problem, so we can have this running at full speed. Now I'm going to send that back up without me in it, because I need to get all the way down there and stick another one of these. Now, let's make sure that our spawn point is set, and I'm going to try and do a bucket clutch, which I am famously terrible at. Do I even have a bucket? I do. Which is why I never bother having a water bucket in my hotbar, because I am useless at bucket clutches. But let's try. Nope. Okay. We're going to have to get down there eventually, so you may well get a montage of me dying. Potentially to the Benny Hill theme. Okay, coming to the conclusion that maybe that's not such a good idea. So what I'm going to do is the clever thing and just put the water bucket there, let it drain down. That also gives us a way out, which is quite useful. But while that water's going down, let's talk through sorry, brain zoned out for a minute there. Let's talk through how to call the lift to where you currently are. So it's all well and good being able to get at a lift. Actually, we don't need. No, I don't think we do need a wireless redstone transceiver thing. Because it's all well and good being able to go up and down, but if the lift isn't where you are, that's not very useful to you, is it? But thankfully for us, it is incredibly easy. Now, I'm going to need to break one of these blocks. Yeah, let's go with that one. And put that there. You don't have to do this. No. There we go. But I just think, yeah, words. All you have to do, it's really easy, is power the lift thing. There you go. Now, let's send that up. You can obviously put the button directly on there. I just wanted to have it there because it make you look nice. This is probably about ready now. Sploosh. I forgot to tell which. Oh, thank God for the map. I can tell which way. There. And it is an elevator contact. We're at -1, and this is deep slate mines. And then let's just get another button. Plop it there. Mine out some blocks so that we've got somewhere to stand and not get crushed by a lift. I'm fairly sure that the lift would just phase through us and we'd end up standing on it, but there is also the possibility that you'd be suffocated by it. And let's go, actually let's send this to upstairs. It's quite satisfying running at full speed, isn't it? Because now that we're upstairs, we can get rid of that. And we can also get rid of that, and I'm going to keep that as a water bucket because it'll probably be useful. Call it, go up, and fill in this hole at long last. You would not believe how long this hole has been annoying me. I must have some limestone. I do. Only cut and polished, but you know what, no one will notice. Technically that should be just standard limestone, that block, but we'll just chuck it in there. No. I have a very mathematical approach to gradients. But yeah, that is it for this episode. We go up, we go down, and we can go even further down. Water's still going away, but that's okay. And you can change direction mid-descent / ascent. Yeah, lifts are awesome. Very useful as well. Yeah, but that is it for this episode. Let's go up to the top floor. That is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you are watching this and you have enjoyed it, or even if you haven't really, you should go and watch the other episodes of this series. This is, I think, episode 11, 12, I don't know, I'm not really keeping count. I'm trying to document absolutely everything that I'm doing, which means this is a pretty slow pace for a series. I think Mr. Beardstone, to take an example, his Perfect World Series 1, by the time he'd got to episode 11, he was already making a massive iron factory and things. But I want to take this slowly, show you absolutely everything that I'm doing, so that you can follow along and you know what is going on, because this is meant to be a tutorial series, if it is even slightly haphazard, I do admit. But yes, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the things that the algorithm likes. Go watch the rest of this series. Have a look at my podcast. Have a look at my radio play. It's all there on the channel. Like I say, I think I am about ready to start talking about my first indie game, which I'm incredibly excited for releasing and all sorts. So I shall probably be doing some devlogs on that to try and get some hype built. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I love you all. I now need to remember which button it is to stop recording. I'm going to try that one. No, I don't think it was that one. Let's try that one. Don't think it was that one either. Let's try this. Oh, no, yeah, and goodbye. Toodles.